Hi, I'm Nirali. Welcome to India Today. Today I'm in conversation with an actress par excellence, and she's not just a actor who has done incredible work in Bollywood, but she's also a wonderful human being. I'm talking about none other than Deepika Padukone. Hi Deepika, welcome to India Today.
Thank you.
Before we start this conversation, I want to congratulate you on the success of Gheraiya.
Thank you.
The reviews are amazing, and I personally loved watching the film.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you all gave it an amazing review.
That's great. But also, Deepika, every actor on the day of the release is either excited or nervous. What happens to be your state of mind on the day of your release?
I would have to agree. I think that on, closer to release, you are a bundle of nerves. You're nervous. There's a lot of anticipation. But you're also excited. You're emotional because, especially on a film like this, when you've had such an incredible time, you're emotional because that journey is coming to an end in a way. We've had some amazing moments and memories together, and you start thinking about that. We laugh about those moments, we bond on those moments. So yes, I think it's a lot of you're nervous, you're excited, there's anticipation, there's a little bit of sadness. But I think it's more difficult for the director than for the actors, because the actors, actors still move on to the next film. It's the director who eventually, I think, probably feels the loneliest, because for him it's a whole process to get over this movie and then to start thinking of something else and then writing it and developing it. And especially for someone like Shakun, he's not the kind of director who during this film is already thinking about what I'm going to do next. He's dedicated his heart and soul to this film. Now he has to unwind, he has to relax, he has to take a break, then he'll think, then he'll develop it. So I think that impacts, when a film releases, I think that impacts the director the most. Actors usually move on to doing something else. But yes, just
it's a mixed bag of
really,
emotions that you have.
Really.
But also,
and I think it also depends on the kind of movie that is up for release. The memories and the moments that you've had with those people. So many things. Yeah.
But in the case of Gheraiya, it was an OTT release. Did you kind of miss theatrical experience?
Not at all. I mean, I was asked this question earlier, and I feel like if it was any other film, maybe. But with Gheraiya, I think right from December, if I'm not mistaken, when we put out the first teaser, the response has just been extremely overwhelming. We've never experienced anything like it. The conversation, the chatter, the anticipation, the excitement. I've never experienced this of course, it's my first OTT film, but it didn't feel like an OTT film. It felt like a full-fledged theatrical release.
But also, on your social media and throughout the promotions of Gheraiya, you have mentioned that, Gheraiya is a dear and a special film to you.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you is, what makes Gheraiya special as compared to your previous releases? Be it Piku, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, Cocktail, or any other film that you did?
I mean, at a personal level and at a professional level. At a professional level, it's the most complex character that I've ever played on screen. So I think just my emotional commitment to it, and what I've given of myself to this film makes it special. Then the fact that we were repeatedly dealing with COVID and lockdowns. So this journey went on for almost 2.5 years. And then at a personal level, it's the people that I've worked with, the memories that the experiences that we've had, the memories that we share. I think all of those things put together have made it by far one of the most incredible experiences of my life. The other time was during Cocktail. Another time was Piku, where I've had an absolute, where I feel empty, when those films are done and we move on. And whenever we come back together, it'll always be special because we have some amazing memories together.
If I have to ask you, what has been your one takeaway from Gairaiya?
As a film, that people are complex. That people are complex, people are complicated, but that people make the choices that they do, not always, but often they make the choices that they make because of the circumstances that they are in. But that doesn't make them bad people necessarily. So I think what I've learned from it is a lot more understanding and a lot more empathy and less judgment. To be less judgmental and to be more empathetic and understanding is probably what I've learned from this.
And do you also think, was it a conscious effort to promote the film on the intimacy factor? Because after people have watched the film now, they feel that Gairaiya is also into a thriller space towards the second half.
No, I mean, the conversation began because people started seeing an intimacy director credit on the posters. And I think that is what people kind of took away from it initially, Plus the fact that in the trailer you do see fleeting moments of infidelity. So I think with that, the conversation for a long time became about that. But we kept saying in all of our interviews, yes, intimacy is a part of it. It's one of the notes of the film. But it's not the only thing in the film. There's so much more. You learn about childhood trauma, you learn about broken relationships, and not just romantic relationships, your relationship with your mother, with your father, with your sibling. So yeah, I mean, we said, and I said as much as I could prior to release, but now people are seeing it, that yes, there is intimacy in the film, and it is required if you're trying to be true to a film and to characters that belong to this generation. But then, that's not your only takeaway from the film. At the end of the film, there's so much more to take away.
Absolutely, because Gairaiya is a film that is much more than modern day relationships and childhood trauma and the various factors that you mentioned.
Correct.
But on a lighter note, how did your parents react after watching Gairaiya, and what was your sister's reaction?
Proud, extremely proud. And of course, they do find, when I choose characters like this, they do find it a little difficult to disassociate me from
your
the
character.
actor. So they usually take some time to process it. It does affect them. Obviously, they're my family, they're my parents. So of course it affects them. But they were extremely appreciative and proud of my performance. And also proud of how we've depicted mental health in, and mental illness in the film and how we've dealt with that. So, yeah, I'm happy that they're proud.
Yeah, and back home, who is your biggest critic, and whose opinions do you take seriously after your film's release?
Honestly, I take everyone's opinions. Everything that people have to say, I like to believe that I'm not defensive about it. Anyone, it could be someone close to me, it could be someone that I don't know too well, but I'm always open to conversation, I'm always open to criticism. But I'd say maybe my sister and my mother are probably the most brutally honest with me. Ranveer is honest with me, but he still filters a little bit. I think it just comes out of love. But I think my sister and my mother are probably the most, they're brutally honest.
And you do take their opinions seriously.
Oh, absolutely. And I appreciate that. I think it's extremely important to have these people in your life who tell you as it is, and especially in a world where there is so much love and appreciation and adulation and fan following and all of those things can get to you. And so it's important, I think, to have people who keep it real for you.
And we all saw how Ranveer went all out and showered praises on you for your character in Gehraiya. Is it just for this film, or that is something which happens with every film of yours?
He usually praises, all of my work. Having said that, like I said, he's also honest. So if there's something that he didn't like or he thought I could have done better, of course he'll say it. But with Gehraiya specifically, he some of the adjectives that he's used, I've actually had to ask him, are you saying this because you love me, or are you saying it, are you being objective? And he's saying, no, I'm being objective about this, which I appreciate. So yeah, just that kind of love and appreciation, I didn't expect for my performance, to be honest. I approached it like any other film of mine, with the same conviction, with the same honesty. But yeah, I guess something just clicked, something worked more than some of my other characters, I guess. And that's why we're here. And I'm extremely grateful.
Absolutely, that's great. But also, when we see you during the promotional stints, or say on your social media, you always have this very high, vivacious energy. I want to know, where does that come from?
Vivacious energy? I think the most part of what people know of me is that I'm poised and I'm dignified and I'm, elegant and all of these things. But there is a side to me that is extremely clumsy. There is a side to me that is funny. So yeah, and people who know me, and in fact, if you ever meet my cast, they'll tell you. If you meet Shakun, he'll tell you. There is a side to me that is clumsy, that is goofy, that is funny, that is self-deprecating. Yeah, I guess people just don't get to see that side enough.
I think people should know more about it on social media. But also, after Gehraiya, you have this exciting films that are lined up. Given that you always share a sparkling chemistry with Shah Rukh Shah, how excited are you to be back with him on the sets of Pathaan?
It's great. In fact, we've pretty much finished most of it. We just have one schedule left. But working with him is always special. It feels like home. I feel safe. I feel secure because that's just the person he is. Even Siddharth Anand, for that matter, I've worked with him before, and I think even he's evolved so much as a director from when I worked with him almost more than 10 years ago. So, and then it's Yash Raj again, which, I did my second film with them. So, yes, I think that, working with Shah Rukh is something that I always look forward to. He is my safe place.
Safe place, yeah. Safe heaven, as they say. But also, you have Fighter with Hrithik Roshan coming up. Apart from the physical prep that you are doing for the movie, I believe that you also have certain action scenes in the film. So, how are you prepping mentally for the same?
Right now, I've not started prepping for it yet. I mean, because it's still a little while away. Prepping in the sense, right now I'm just thinking about, thinking about the character, how it might. But I haven't started doing enough work on it yet to say much at this point. Hopefully, when we meet next, I'll have a lot more to say about that.
Definitely. And lastly, you also have a Project K with Prabhas. How has your experience been meeting him and working with him?
Oh, absolutely amazing. I mean, and I'm a South Indian, so I understand it. It's just so much humility and simplicity. So yeah, that again has been an extremely. When I'm in the South, I feel like I'm at home. So whether it's the food, whether it's the love, whether it's just the simplicity, it's very, very comforting.
And do you feel, with the roaring success of Pushpa, of Allu Arjun sir, do you think Bollywood has finally started showing much interest in South cinema as compared to earlier?
Why just Bollywood? I think the whole nation has woken up to the fact that there is a thriving industry that exists that we maybe have not acknowledged as much as we should have over the years. But yes, I mean, not just the Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Bengali, Gujarati. I think a lot of these regions have had incredible talent for several years. But yeah, I mean, I guess better late than never. That at least now those lines seem to be blurring, and yeah, hopefully, and you know, it's India's weakness and strength at the same time. The diversity is amazing. You know, I think it's incredible that within one country you have so much diversity. But I hope that at least when it comes to the arts, when it comes to creativity, that those lines blur. And I think that has already started happening. You know, it doesn't matter whether a Pushpa is in Tamil or Telugu or whether you understand the language or not. I think what people are really lapping up is just the content. You know, so I guess that's you know, proof enough that those lines are blurring.
But thank you so much, Deepika, for taking your precious time out and doing this wonderful conversation. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.